Hi everybody, today I am sharing 10 tips to stay motivated and to keep you active while we all self-isolate during this COVID-19 pandemic. If you are new to my channel, I'm Cathy. I usually film beauty, skincare, and fashion videos for the woman over 50, but during this time where we are all self-isolating, I thought that I would do some different types of videos to make some suggestions to make your life a little easier at this time. So I've come up with 10 tips that I often use to get out of a funk or to help me get active and just stay in a routine. Because often when you're stuck at home every day, day in, day out, it's very easy to get lazy and not get dressed and, just feel sort of depressed and blah. So I've come up with 10 ways that won't cost you a cent to try and help you avoid that. So tip number 1 is get dressed. Especially in the winter time, I live in Canada, so we have long, cold winters and the days are short, so we have a lot of darkness. Especially in the early winter, it'll get dark here at like 4 p.m. and then we don't see the sun again until maybe 7:30 the next morning. So I find what helps me stay motivated so that I feel alive and want to do things around the house, I immediately get dressed whenever I get out of bed. I used to lounge around in my pajamas, but I find whenever I do that, I just get lazy and it sets my day off sort of on a bad course and I just don't feel motivated to do anything. So I find when I jump out of bed, I get dressed, and then tip number 2, I immediately make my bed. There's just something about making my bed that makes me feel like I have accomplished something. And even if I go on all day and I don't accomplish another thing, at least I know that I made my bed. And it looks nice whenever you go in at nighttime to crawl in it because it's kind of inviting and it looks fresh, so it doesn't look like, a total mess. Tip number 3 is to get outside and get some fresh air, but check with your local authorities. I'm not sure what they're recommending in your area, but so far we are still allowed to get outside and walk around the neighborhood as long as we practice social distancing. And if you live in a high-rise, if you can get out on your patio and even just breathe in some fresh air for 10 minutes, often I find just filling our lungs with fresh air can really change our mood and perk us up a little bit. And that leads me to tip number 4. Every day you should do some sort of exercise. And I'm not talking about like doing CrossFit or anything like that if you've never exercised, but even if you just, like I said, walk around the neighborhood or walk on your balcony back and forth just to get your blood pumping, to get the oxygen going to all your organs, you will feel better. And it doesn't have to be for a long time, even 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you can do. That often helps me get out of a bad mood and helps to perk me up and motivate me. So tip number 5, I think this is very important, especially for people that are working from home or that stay at home and don't have a regular 9-to-5 job. You need a routine, at least I do. So I know every morning I'm usually up around 7. I give myself 1 hour to go on the computer after I have gotten dressed and made my bed. I check emails to see what's going on in the world, etc. Have my breakfast, and then I'll make a routine, like maybe I'm going to clean the bathrooms or vacuum, or I want to do some research for a video. And I find that it really helps me if I write things down. I just like that visualization that I can cross it off the list. So if you are stuck at home, like we all are, actually playing board games or even playing online games with friends, if you live alone, can help pass the time and cheer you up as well. I play Scrabble online with a few friends that live far away. We also can chat back and forth so you don't feel so alone. And another way to keep in touch with family and friends if you don't live in the same city or you do live alone is through FaceTime. And that is completely free as long as you have an iPhone. And there's other apps if you don't have Apple products. I think one is called WhatsApp. There's also Skype, but I use FaceTime. And that's just a way to feel connected, maybe to your grandkids or to your parents, to family members that you can't see at this time. So tip number 8 is something that is a lot of fun and that always switches my mood into a good mood, and that is to crank up some music and listen to some upbeat music. And if I can recommend some songs, anything from the 1980s will perk you up. I think the 80s was the greatest decade ever for music, but I'm biased. That was the decade when I was a teenager. But just think about all the upbeat songs, for example, that the Bee Gees made. I guarantee you, if you put Staying Alive on, you will be up wanting to boogie, and it's just gonna put a smile on your face. And it's perfectly fine to have dance parties and sing horribly like I do along to the Bee Gees. And if you don't have any of their music, you can find it free on YouTube. Just do a search for whatever artist you like, and you'll readily find free music that you can listen to. This is also a great time whenever restaurants are closed and we're not able to get out, is to try a new recipe. And you don't have to be like a gourmet cook. I certainly am not. But even making homemade pizza or homemade soup or stew and dumplings, there's all kinds of free recipes online, and there are other videos on YouTube that you can just type in whatever recipe you're looking for, and I'm sure that you can find a tutorial for that. And I want to end this video with tip number 10, and this is how I end my day before I go to sleep every day. And I think it is important, especially in this time when things are scary. People are just scared. We're unsure of what's happening and how long this is gonna go on. So I think it's still important to practice gratitude. And I know you may say, well, there's not a lot to be thankful for at this time, but actually there is at least one thing. You're breathing if you're watching this video. So even if you have to start with small things, and I recommend making a list of 5 things every day. And like I said, it is difficult in the beginning if you have a lot of stress in your life. But you could be thankful for your vision. You can be thankful that you're breathing. You can be thankful for having eyes that you can look outside and see the beautiful blue sky or feel the sunshine on your skin. Be thankful for your family. Be thankful for the healthcare workers that are working to keep us all safe. And I just find that having a gratitude list every day, it just puts things into perspective, and it just, I guess, helps you appreciate what you have. And I think that if you implement that after a few days, you will agree that it just makes things a little more bearable. And they don't have to be big things. Like I said, if you have your sight, your hearing, you know, those are tremendous things to be grateful for. So I hope that my suggestions for ways to sort of keep a normal routine to keep you active and motivated during this time when we are all stuck in the house, maybe you can take 1 or 2 of them and apply them to your day and make your life a little bit easier. Stay tuned. I have more video ideas coming up. I hope that you are staying healthy and well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.